grabbed my 3D print while I was up. Probably hard to see from that far out, but this is literally just a 20 millimeter long, 1/4 inch, 20 designation UNC thread. You might be thinking, what on earth are you talking about? And that's fair enough. This is the standard thread length used for cameras. So the holder you're on right now, the stand that's actually holding the light I'm using right now, and in fact, hold on 1 second. So this came with its own mounting attachment. Primarily thought to use this for streaming. There's the thread in question, and normally this sits on there just like that. And it's meant to sit on the rear of your monitor and just sort of hang out as a face cam light, not plugged in, for when you're streaming to kind of give you better lighting. And it does unthread. It does unthread, and you can mount it to anything else. I had a little tripod with this particular attachment. Excuse me. With this particular attachment, so I was using that to hold the light up on a secondary tripod, but the phone stand you guys are currently sitting in right now actually has the receiving thread just like this does. Problem is, I didn't really have any of these spare threads laying around that were dual-sided, and so I thought, print one. So hopefully this fits. It is a plastic thread, so yeah, that certainly fits. That is pretty doggone cool. So theoretically, I should be able to attach it to the top of that tripod, which I actually do have a second one of these. It's holding up my cat cam I use when I'm streaming. So pardon me 1 second while I borrow the head off of that to show you what I'm talking about. This is what's currently holding my phone right now in the tripod. And this just threads into the tripod itself, you know, holds the phone, all like that. And on the top of it, on the bottom, but I suppose this probably is the top, it has this little thread, right? Probably buy this thread somewhere, but I mean, I got a printer. You got a printer, you got a print. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that was a bit embarrassing. I probably should cut that. I probably won't, but I probably should. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna have to mangle this a little bit to unthread it. I just want it threaded in enough. I think that's probably plenty. It looks pretty good. Okay, I mean, this looks pretty okay, right guys? Let me try adding this to the one you're in and mounting the light on top and see if that works, and I don't have to bother with a second tripod. Give me 1 sec. Okay, well that actually seemed to work pretty reasonably well. I'm honestly a bit shocked, if I'm being honest. But wow, talk about printing your problems away. Let me clean this up a bit. Never quite goes back in the way you took it out, does it? I suppose they packed it with a bit more care than I just showed it though. But I wanted to talk about my 3D prints. Gosh dang it. Tea break though. When in doubt, pinky out. It's first grade, SpongeBob. Wumbo? Am I mixing up episodes? W for Wumbo. Anyway, so toothpaste. That's what we all came here to talk about. Not Japanese treats, not fixing my light setup for my stupid YouTube video I'm filming that you should like and subscribe to, because it's very good. But about toothpaste. Gosh dang it. Don't you see how much toothpaste is... Oh, this is where we make it black and white, right? Oh gosh, has this ever been you? Trying to get the toothpaste out of the... Oh gosh, you just can't really get the toothpaste out of the... Is this selling it? So, I found this on Thingiverse. It's a 3-file print, printed pretty quickly, didn't take much plastic, and it seems like a reasonably smart design. It has this little slot that you feed the toothpaste into, then it catches it, has a little gear mechanism, a winding key, has a detent to catch it so it doesn't go backwards. It's pretty darn well designed. So let me go ahead and first assemble this bad boy. It's a bit hard to finagle in here, but that's what you're trying to do, is squeeze every last bit of toothpaste out, so it makes sense that it should be. And now we wind the key. Now, I'll be darned if that didn't do exactly what it said on the tin. That works pretty darn well. But I did find myself thinking, is this a bit over-engineered? Yes. You don't need all of this to do this. I mean, obviously, you don't need this at all. You could just squeeze the toothpaste out of the tube and move on with your life. And so I thought, well, let me come and unengineer a solution to a problem that I don't have. That's a good use of my time. And yours. So first, let's pop into Fusion 360, and we're going to take some initial measurements just to go off of. So as far as the toothpaste that it's meant to be squeezing out, I'm seeing anywhere from 0.5 millimeter all the way up to 1 millimeter for the end thickness of the toothpaste once it's been squeezed out. Just call it 0.8. I'm looking at about 55. I'm going to round up to 60 to give myself some more wiggle room. So we're looking at a 0.8 by 60 millimeter internal hole. If we're saying 60 millimeters, I think we could add 2 on either side for a comfortable hold, bringing us up to 64. And then the thickness of the piece, probably something like a 10. I like to have a pair of calipers handy just because I'm not native to the metric system. I do like working in it, but sometimes it can be hard to visualize while you're just staring at a computer screen. So with that all in mind, let's pop in here and we'll start a sketch on the bottom plane. We're going to go ahead and pop in to grab a center rectangle, and we'll go ahead and give that dimension. We were saying 64 for the outer since we want a 60 inner hole. So 64 gives us 2 on either side. We'll do 15 tall, and then we're going to immediately draw another rectangle, another center rectangle on top. And again, we wanted a 60 diameter inner hole for the width, and for the height, it's 0.8. Quite a narrow hole indeed. And so that's pretty much all there is to this design. We're going to go ahead and extrude this by about 10. This should functionally achieve what I was trying to do. I do think we could go ahead and help ourselves out by adding a slight chamfer to this. I'd like to see probably at a 45-degree angle. I intend to print this in this exact orientation, and so a good rule of thumb is not to chamfer over a 45-degree angle. Otherwise, I'd have to rotate the whole piece and print it on its side, and then you're going to have this entire length of the hole to bridge over, which is not going to be great. So with a 2 millimeters looks okay. 2 millimeters at a 45-degree. Yeah, that looks all right. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll grab another one here, another 2 millimeters to a 45-degree, and then, yeah, I think that looks okay. You could fillet this another 1 millimeter just to make it a little bit nicer to deal with, and in fact, I think I will do that. Sharp edges are never good in designs, and so let's grab this edge and we'll do another 1 millimeter. And then really there's no reason to leave any of these chamfered on the edges, and so I will do that again. Chamfer all these outer edges here just to make it a nicer hand holding experience. I think 1 is a bit much. Let's say 0.5 millimeter chamfer. And I'm going to go ahead and actually mirror all of this stuff that I've done just to save myself from redoing work. And so construct midplane from this top face to this bottom face. That's the actual dividing line for the vertical half of this piece. And then we'll come from the bottom, and I'm actually going to extrude -5, cutting this directly in half. And now when I go back to mirror, we're actually going to mirror this entire body over that same plane, and we're going to choose the join feature. But cool, we have that taken care of. I think it would be nice to add an additional little chamfer to these edges here on the hands. So I'm going to go ahead and select all of these edges here. Boom. And yeah, 1 millimeter looks okay. I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and save this part, and we'll pop over into Creality. As you can see, here's that 3-piece that I printed previously, and if you just want to take a sneak peek at the print time, it was 30 minutes and 36 seconds, 11.5 grams of filament. Nothing too egregious. Again, this was fairly well designed, and it definitely did work well. But I just crave simplicity sometimes. And so I'm going to go ahead and clear that build plate, and I will pop in the part I just made. There we go. There's not much to this. It really does just lie flat on that build plate because we were being conscientious of that chamfer, and so we shouldn't have any problem coming off the build plate with that chamfer. So go ahead and slice this. 11 minutes, 55 seconds. Let's just call it 12 minutes. 5 grams of filament. So definitely less filament, definitely less print time, no moving parts to speak of. You do lose some functionality. That's the trade-off, right? Because now I don't have that ratcheting D10 to hold that pressure on the toothpaste, but I don't really want that anyway. What I want is really just something to help me squeeze the tooth, because you know you can sort of mash the toothpaste down, but if you really want a nice all the toothpaste out of there, you want something to help squeeze. And to be honest, I have another use for this as well that I'd like to potentially use it for, but I'll show you that once we get this printed. So here's what I came up with. Very elegant, very simple. It's a box. I did chamfer the edges, you know, it's all, look how nicely chamfered it is, and it's a box with a slot in it. Okay, well, I gotta get the toothpaste out first. Jesus. Don't you hate it when your toothpaste is all squeezed back to the rear of the tube because someone spent a bunch of time massaging the toothpaste back where it shouldn't be for demonstration purposes? Me too. Here is a very good solution to that. It's a box with a slot. You know, like how mailboxes work? It's kind of like that. And, wow, this is, I think the other guy made his a lot better than this. This is kind of shit. Oh, no. There we go. Okay. Check this out. Look how well designed. Look at this. You just, look. You just, that's it. That's all you needed. Look at that. It's a box with a slot. Bruh, I'm a genius. And that's not all. You might think, well, you know, I have other tubes of things. I have other tubes. Don't worry, I got you covered. Do you have smaller tubes? Well, I got what you're looking for right here. What kind of tubes, you're asking? Well, of course, cat churro. Come on. Everyone has cats, right? Right? So we got this little cat churro, and don't worry, I'm not folding this seam in because... I'm not folding the edge of this tube in because I made this far too small. No, this is intentional, and anywho, it does fit in here. So now, instead of having to kind of, oh, here, hold on, kitty, let me roll up the end, because, oh gosh, let me get all the churro out for you. Now, instead, you just have to struggle with this for a minute or so, and once you have it in there, though, you're set. You just grab the end and pull, and bam! You just all over his face, on the floor, on his hair, all his, you know, everywhere. I can shotgun this churro if I wanted to, but I won't, because I've already fed one to my cat, and I also don't think he would like that. That was it. I got my Japanese snacks. Fuck did that. I got this free print on Thingiverse that I disparaged for no reason, but I did get a YouTube video out of it. Oh, I plugged this video you might have seen. Check out the... No? Oh, I did belatedly figure out that you can emboss these for a little custom look. Here's a Hello Kitty box cutter. Eat your heart out, Hello Kitty fans. This is from my mom. She loves Hello Kitty stuff. That was it. Box cutters, Hello Kitty, box cutters, churro, toothpaste. disparage freely available 3D prints that are better than mine. This. Bye.